and
this
7.
week, but I don't know what days.
6 and 7.
6 and 7 of August. And that was for personal reasons. I'd like to have a motion to approve the minutes of the July 11th, 2019 minutes. Oh, I'm sorry.
Need a roll call.
Roll call. Warren, please.
Okay. Mrs. Ackley.
Here.
Mrs. Bryce.
Here.
Mr. Cogner. Mr. Gutierrez. Mr. McDowell. Mr. Parquet.
Here.
Mr. Zappel.
Here.
We have a quorum. Mayor.
Here.
Mr. McDonough. Solicitor, Mr. Trapani.
Here.
Chief, Police Chief, James Bryce.
Here.
Code, Ken Jericho.
Here.
Fire Chief, Patsy. Mike Petrowski.
Here.
Warren Secone.
Thank you, Warren. Now I need a motion to approve the minutes of the July 11th, 2019 meeting.
Motion to approve the minutes from July 11th, 2019.
Motion by Mr. Parquet, seconded. Second by Mrs. Bryce. Warren, would you please call the roll?
Mrs. Ackley.
Yeah.
Mrs. Bryce.
Yes.
Mr. Cogner. Mr. Gutierrez. Mr. McDowell. Mr. Parquet.
Aye.
Mr. Zappel.
I need a motion to approve the minutes of the July 18th, 2019 meeting.
Motion to approve the minutes from July 18th, 2019.
Motion made by Mr. Parquet, seconded by Mrs. Bryce. Warren, please call the roll.
Mrs. Ackley.
Yes.
Mrs. Bryce.
Yes.
Mr. Cogner. Mr. Gutierrez. Mr. McDowell. Mr. Parquet.
Aye.
Mr. Zappel.
Mr. Parquet, could you read the report as provided to you?
Yes. The bill report for the month of July 2019, administration, $1,245.14. Tax collection, 0. Legal services, $641.50. Borough building, $2,808.89. Police, $5,049.71. Fire, $1,670. Code enforcement, $70,404. Streets, $11,594.97. Parking, $8.72. Insurance and benefits, $26,896.60. Recreation, $4,698.80. Total for the month of July 2019, $125,018.33. Make a motion to accept the bill report as read.
A motion on the floor by Mr. Parquet, seconded.
I'll second it.
By Mrs. Bryce. Mr. Warren, please call the roll. I'm not saying this.
Mrs. Ackley.
Yes.
Mrs. Bryce.
Yes.
Mr. Parquet.
Aye.
Mr. Zappel.
Aye.
Okay, the treasurer's report for the month of July 2019. Balance in all checking accounts as of July 1st, $475,908.87. Total receipts, $329,076.61. Temporary investments as of July 1st, $60,307.50. Total funds available, $865,292.98. Total expenditures, $250,043.72. Temporary investments as of July 31st, $188,007.30. Balance in all checking accounts as of July 31st, 2019, $427,241.96. I make a motion to accept the treasurer's report as read.
A motion on the floor by Mr. Parquet, seconded by
I'll second it.
by Mrs. Bryce.
Good.
Warren, please call the roll.
Mrs. Ackley.
Yes.
Mrs. Bryce.
Yes.
Mr. Parquet.
Aye.
Mr. Zappel.
The payroll report for the month of July 2019. Administration, $236.80. Tax collection, $3,598.49. Borough building, $495. Police, $39,791.14. Fire, $142.62. Code enforcement, $1,800. Highways and streets, $17,806.48. Total for July 2019, $71,870.53. A note for official record, the Borough Manager has certified 2020 MMOs to Council on August 6, 2020. Mr. Saccone, please summarize ordinance number 1395.
Yeah, this is an ordinance that's just been ready for advertising. It's setting the real estate tax rates for 2019. It was not done at the beginning of the year. However, everything was certified for Washington County. So that's the motion to advertise.
Okay, motion to advertise ordinance 1395, setting the real estate tax rate for 2019.
A motion on the floor by Mr. Parquet. Do I have a second?
Second.
Seconded by Mr. Zappel. Mr. Ryan, please call the roll.
Mrs. Apple.
Yes.
Mrs. Bryce.
Yes.
Mr. Parquet.
Aye.
Mr. Zappel.
Aye.
Mr. Zappel, could you read the reports as provided to you?
Sanitation report for the month of July 2019. Monies collected during the month of July 2019, $8,828.89. Delinquent sanitation fees collected to the Marshall were $55.68. Fine sanitation fees collected to the Marshall were $814.86. Code enforcement report for the construction for the month. Permits issued were 5. Construction costs were $18,400. Permit fees were $263. The registration permit fees for the month of July, $640 in registration permit fees. Year-to-date total of $22,701.50. Occupation fee report for the month was $150. I'd like to make a motion to reappoint Barry Hickman to the zoning hearing board.
Second.
There's a motion on the floor, seconded by Mr. Parquet. Do we
Mrs.
have
Appleman?
any questions or comments? Warren, please call the roll.
Mrs. Ackman.
Yes.
Mrs. Bryce.
Yes.
Mr. Parquet.
Yes.
Mr. Zappel.
Aye. Nothing further report, Madam President.
Thank you, Mr. Zappel. Recreation, Mr. Kateris is not here, and there's nothing for him to report. Community Affairs, Mr. Conger is not here, and there's nothing for him to report. Highways and Streets, Mrs. Bryce.
No, nothing.
Okay. Mr. McDowell is not here, and there's nothing for him to report. Mr. Parquet, would you please read the police report?
Okay. Police report for July 2019, complaints answered, 221, total calls, 241, total offenses reported, 28, total arrests, 26, total of all revenue received, $1,366.88. That concludes public safety.
There is a report for park rentals. Mrs. Bryce, could you read the report for park rentals, please?
Money collected during the month of July 2019 was $550. It was zero for the banquet hall.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Mayor McDonough, do you have anything that you would like to add to the meeting?
I do. The all-class reunion went off since our last meeting, and it was a huge success. Now, I read the paper the next day, and they were calling that possibly maybe we should do something more for Mr. Price. We put this together every year. So I got a hold of him because I thought maybe we should do something more. After talking to him, this is what we've come up with. The people that helped and put forward the greatest effort to bring this all together was Mr. Price, Tommy Thompson, Jim Bryce, Cindy Bryce, Chuck Smith, Pat Smith, Mark Smith, Janie Ackerman, Michelle Kitchens, Eddie Locker, Tyrell Satterfield, Carl Crawley, Chris Wilson, the Fraley family, the Scott family, Chuck Sloan, and the Pavelkos. And then he apologized because he couldn't think of everyone that he had on his list because he was on vacation at the time. To be honest with you, Mr. Price did not want any acclimates for this, and everybody else on here that I've ever talked to wants no acclimates either, which leads me to believe I'm truly from the home of champions. We did this as a team. Mr. Price did this as a team. They all understand this. Since our last meeting, 4 firemen rushed into a room to try to save a woman. Chris Gaskill, Donnie Foster, Gordon Anderson, and Reese Taylor. Now, maybe we should have a street for them too. There was also another business open. At a time whenever they were told that they shouldn't come to Donora at all, Neil Bowman and Nia Bettel opened a business in town, a tattoo parlor. They had their final grand opening, everything was a go. I thought maybe that would be enough for this month, but we had a stabbing, and a gentleman was hurt badly. And it was through 2 bystanders, Eric Williams and Catherine Tillier, that his life was probably saved. The fact of the matter is, I don't know if Donora has enough streets. Every single person on this list, and we've missed so many after talking to them today, needs acclimates. Give them the acclimates they deserve every day. They don't have to see it on a sign. We don't have to have it on a park. We don't have to have it any way. Just go up and thank them for what they do, because they're going to keep doing it. After all of this, Mr. Price, the first thing he said was, I can't wait. I've got a better idea to start something next year. And he'll do it. And along with these people, it will get done. It's a group effort. That's why we are the home of champions. We may claim back to 1940 what, Mr. Thompson, you always tell me?
44, 45.
To be the home of champions.
We're still living with it. We need more champions.
And you are one of them today
I'm not one.
in what we do in
I
this
think
town.
I would reconsider Larry.
I
Coming back next summer, I think, for something.
He's coming back in October too.
He's coming back in October, but something.
The simple fact of the matter is, he doesn't want it.
I don't
Same as
care
what you
he
just
wants,
said.
He deserves it.
And he told me that you deserve it, and Jimmy deserves
We
it.
don't deserve it, no. He does.
That's
But we
the,
can talk about it.
that's the attitude that you all have. And I wanted to thank you openly at a public meeting, and this is the exact thing that we're going to have. I wanted to thank you personally as mayor, and on the side also, all of you, for what you did. And for anyone that didn't make the list because we were just rattling so much today trying to make this final list. But remember, the firemen, the business owners, the bystanders on the street who just step in every time something needed. This is our hometown, and this is what they do every day. Thank you.
I would like to say something about
Thank
the
you,
fire
Mary.
department, okay? You know, thank God that Mikey Petrosky works here on the street department in town, and that some of those firemen that responded were street department people, and, or like, you know, Gordon, and then plus the other fire departments, Menneson, Carroll, Collinsburg. I mean, when I got down here, we had people from all over the valley that came out, and you have to give them credit. That fire was contained to just that room. Everyone was evacuated. That was an amazing act that they were able to perform in the middle of the day when they had a skeletal crew to get in there and get it under control. But I would like to thank our fire department and the other fire departments that came out to assist us.
While we were talking about Larry Price, the mayor neglected to inform everyone that he has come up with another idea. This idea idea will come off on August the 16th, 2 days after the Kennywood picnic. There will be a free vendor bazaar held at the gazebo of the parking lot at 6th and McCain. This is free to anyone that wants to set up a table or a food truck. The food you will have to pay for, and the vendor supplies or the vendors, whatever they're selling, you will pay for. But this is free to any vendor that wants to come in. So I really hope everyone takes advantage of this and makes a good showing for Larry and his new idea that he's trying to put off. Also, on September the 28th, we have our festival in the park that is coming up. If anyone would like to join in the preparation of the festival, they are more than welcome. We have meetings on the first Monday of every month, usually down at Palmer Park. We will welcome anyone that wants to give us a hand in trying to make this festival the success that it was last year. Okay. Mr. Teprani, do you have any reports to make?
Not tonight, Madam President.
Thank you. Mr. Bryce, Chief Bryce.
No report.
Mr. Jericho, do you have anything you'd like to add?
No, ma'am.
Mr. Petrosky.
No report.
Do we have a... Mr. Tito. You want to come up, please?
Now that everybody gets their accolades for how well Donora's running, how about if we're going to do a little bit for some of the taxpayers in town? You know, instead of just coming, I'll name the names: Mayor McDonough, Kenny Jericho, Mike, Jimmy Price, but they haven't, as far as, and Soprani for giving me some advice. But you know, I like to know when you're going to get something done for the taxpayers.
Such as?
Pardon me?
Such as, what would you like for us to do for the taxpayers?
I can't.
What would you like for us to do for the taxpayers?
Well, I don't know. There's about 3 or 4 council people come up here and nobody knows anything yet. It's a mess. Gilmore Terrace is a mess.
Mr. Petrosky, do you have anything to add to this?
No, he has nothing to do with
No,
it.
I don't know. We went over the sewage issue, that's the last time we were up there, Jim.
That's what I thought.
I thought it was taken care
I
of.
thought it was
Yeah, you know what?
taken care of.
Don't send, what's his name, Salak? Don't send him up to my house, because you know
We
what?
have nothing to do with, that's the sewage authority.
Okay,
we
let
have
me tell you,
nothing to do
you
with
said
it.
you brought him up, right?
We did not bring him up, he comes up on his own. We have
Okay, he
no
brought a whole
control.
crew up there. This, me, I don't know whose project this is. About 150 feet of sewer line that was put in when I wasn't even here. I was working out in Ohio, and it's not plugged now. But he comes up there, and don't try and bogart me. I mean, I'm an old man, but I wasn't old forever. He come up there and acted as if I said the sewers were plugged. They weren't plugged at the time. But in 43 years that I've been up there, they've been plugged up about 7 times. Okay, so that's the here nor there. The trees on one side of the house is about 10 foot, 12 foot away from my house, the branches. On the other side, they're overcoming my property. I mean, when's somebody going to do something about this?
Is it our borough property or is it private property?
No, I'm in the middle.
I know.
There's 9 lots.
Okay, but who owns the lots?
Down a check on one side, and
Okay, but it's privately owned. Are they privately owned
Yeah.
properties? Okay.
Delacqui owns the other side. I mean, it's just terrible. And the mayor was up there, Kenny was up there, Mike was up there, Jimmy was up there, but nothing has been even, I didn't get any answers from anybody.
Mr. Jericho, would you like to comment?
All I said is maybe he need to get with his neighbors and talk to them, but he said he didn't. You didn't get along with him, Jim, or?
No, we already had a couple fights, you know, I don't know what you want me to have.
There's nothing I can do.
I don't think there's anything the borough can do unless the people that own the property are gonna have to be told.
Well, what do you want me to do, go up there on my knees and give him a big kiss?
No. Can we cite them in any way for not taking care of their property?
I don't think we could cite him,
No,
but
no.
maybe I'll go talk to him, write him a letter or something.
This sounds like a guy who lives on his farm.
He
He does have a legal right to cut every tree if he lives on his farm.
We discussed it. Yeah, but I mean, it's between neighbors, we shouldn't get involved in it anyways.
Right, right.
What's that?
If it's neighbors, he shouldn't be getting involved with it, it should be handled between the neighbors.
Right.
Well, you tell me, you give me some advice, you're on council.
Cut the trees.
Yeah, but I was told, and the only person that ever told me some advice was to Brandy. You cut the branches, okay, and I'm in no health to be cutting branches, all right? But you cut the branches and something happens to the tree, you're responsible for the tree. Did you know that?
What do you mean? You got to replace the tree?
I never had to do that before. So, you know, that's why I'm here at the council meeting, to get some
You want
advice.
the tree going, I mean, cut the tree. If it's on your property, you're free to cut whatever you want on your
Right,
property.
Right.
Can't go on their property and cut their tree, you cut it on yours.
I'm cutting the branches.
Yeah, you
That's
can.
what you have every right to do. You have, whatever is hanging over on your property, you have the right to cut those branches.
Well, let me tell you something about me and the down checks. I was putting an addition on my garage, and I had my pickup truck back there with the tools on it. So he comes through the paper alley, he can't go around, and he starts blowing the horn, so we got in a fight. He hit me with a rock right here, busted the hell out of my nose. And I got him one good time, and he took off running home. I mean, this is the kind of neighbors I'm dealing with.
I don't know what to tell you. This is between you and your neighbors as far as I can see.
That's a hell of a statement, you know that. So you need a neighbor.
I don't get along with my neighbors either, but I'm not asking the borough to intercede with this.
Well, what are they doing to your house then?
And that's not a borough problem.
And he's breeding dogs up there or whatever, and this has been going on for years.
I don't know what to tell you, and I don't think anybody up here knows really what to tell you. I think you're going to have to talk to Mr. Dowling and Mr. Laftree, is it, on the other side, and see what they're willing to do about the trees.
They're willing
Either
to
that or
help
cut them, have somebody cut them down for you.
Let me give you some past. When Chummy McNally was the mayor, and this comes from a council person, and Bertitz was the code enforcer. Chummy told the code enforcers, don't even go up to Riggs Manor. And you know what? The homes you can look at the homes and see the ones that were built in zero weather and this and that. I mean, this is what goes on. And you pay taxes. 43 years, I've never been late. I'm one of the first 1 or 2 people that pay the taxes that early.
I understand you have a problem. I also understand that it is between you and the neighbor, and you're going to have to try to resolve it with your neighbor. However, your time is limited here as far as you're talking, so I'm going to have to say that, you know, there isn't anything we can do. Marquette's your time. Mr. Marquette made a comment. You could probably contact the magistrate's office and see if there's any.
I went down to the magistrate.
Well, and
I was told by the previous, magistrate, was it Bednar? He should go down to the,
No, he was the administrator,
okay, the administrator. He told me to go down to
Mark Wilson.
Mark Wilson. And then they told me, go get an attorney. Why should somebody that's breaking the rule have to depend on me to pay for something to be done? You know, if the, like for my storage, I know you have nothing to do with storage, but if the code enforcer, where was the inspector for the storage? Or the code enforcer at the time? And I gotta suffer for 150 feet of sewers, and they tell me, now this is how foolish people are. They tell me that I'm responsible for that sewer, a 4-inch line going down at least 150 feet down over the hill. And Delacue's tapped into it, and I'm responsible for it. Delacue don't pay me for the sewage bill, he pays the sewage company. And nobody oversees anything.
I'm really sorry you're having these problems, but there isn't anything we can do, and I believe your time is up for your.
Okay, but you know, you're the person who's gonna make Donora different, but you're doing a hell of a job, okay? You better go find a lesson on how to make somebody different. Like that park down there, it's a mess. Nobody, I don't know if anybody's afraid to tell you people what's wrong, but I'm not. I never was afraid of anything.
Thank you. Miss Judy Gray?
I was concerned about the garbage that's being set out on 700 block of Thompson. He puts it out on Thursday, Wednesday, Thursday, and it stays there all weekend. He blocks the sidewalk.
Is there, I mean, you mean if garbage doesn't get picked up on pickup day? Is that what you're saying?
Puts it out
Put it out
today.
early.
Or they just put it out, or?
Putting out early, have you ever called down and?
Mr. Jerry could go.
No, this is just the second time I've noticed. He just put garbage out today. He has a small dumpster there that doesn't fit near the stuff he's got out. A ditch full, plus he has a bunch.
If garbage,
7:34.
So they not put out 5 o'clock the night before pickup.
Right.
Anything before they not allowed.
Have you called on the borough building to tell them about this?
No, I just got home from work and came up here. I noticed that he's had garbage out again
They
today.
get right on the way home, look at it, see.
Yeah.
Got that, Ken?
Nope.
thank you for bringing it to our attention.
Thank you.
Also, I hope we don't have that red-headed cop anymore because he's ignorant. Thank you.
Everybody knows who she's talking about. Same when we get complaints about all the time.
Randy Tusick?
I'm here to talk about the sewers that backed up in July. Wrote 2 letters to Mr. Saccone about our home being flooded for, first time was about 6 or 7 years ago, foot of water, along with my 2 neighbors. They're on Waddell. This year, in July, myself and my neighbor right below us, homes flooded again. It's one thing if it's just rainwater, but we're talking rain and sewage coming into the basement.
Where at?
It is not separated.
Where at?
Where is this?
It's at 129 Waddell Avenue. So it's up 2nd Street, Marty's, hang a left. Our house is pretty easy to locate. We've got the butterflies on the chimney, and the yard is nothing but flowers. So I mean, we kind of stand out that way in terms of where we're located. We put a lot of work into our house. I put thousands of dollars into it. 3 times now I've had to toss furniture, carpets out of my basement because of a flooding issue that has to do with the sewer lines and the way the water's coming in and backing up in that area. Now, I'm also aware that Borough of Donora put a backflow valve on 2 homes here in Donora, at least 2.
Did we put that one in up there?
You put one in
Oh,
on
we
the
were supposed to,
home.
but they didn't put the grease trap in. Did they put the grease trap in the back of the valve up there?
I'm not sure what you're referring to on that.
They had a problem right around the corner in Marty's. The grease was flowing into the trap. So they put a grease trap in there.
It's in.
They put a backflow for the one across the street.
Okay. It still backs up. It backed up twice and caused lots of.
We found it.
I'm also aware.
Pipe up there at 18. There was an issue with one of the pipes being put. Yeah, we cleaned it, it's been running fine since.
And in that statement, essentially, that's telling me, don't worry, everything's fine now, we cleaned the sewer. I asked you, Mr. Saccone, if you would get the borough to put that in writing, that I will no longer have a problem with sewage backup in my home. You said you'd speak to the attorney about that, and I'm wondering if you did
I
speak
will,
with.
I'll answer that for you.
Thank you.
First of all, I don't have the ability to guarantee you'll never be flooded. There's act of God. An act of God is these 2 and 3 inch rainfalls that we get from time to time. And nobody can predict that, and I can never guarantee you that we could prevent that from happening. What I told you was, when you called, we did due diligence, we spent money for a camera truck, we went up there, we cameraed it, we found a plug in it, we vacuumed it, we put that on a Reg 2 maintenance schedule now, and I can honestly say that I believe as long as we maintain that sewer on a regular schedule, that you won't have a problem. Now, can I guarantee you that if there's 3 inches of rain dropped from the sky, that you're not going to flood? No. You and a whole lot of other people.
I understand the issue of guarantees in the future. I testify in courts all the time, and I'm asked if I can guarantee somebody's behavior in the future. And I say, of course not. I can't predict future occurrences. But what I would ask you, again, as I mentioned previously, and I'll bring it up again, I know that the borough of Donora has paid for backflow valves placed on 2 other people's properties here in Donora. I know that if I were to do it myself, it is extremely expensive. I am asking if there's any way at all that the borough of Donora, and not even, I mean, it'd be fine for me, but you know, my 84-year-old neighbor right next door who's lived here her entire life, her basement also backs up, just like mine. Hers is worse than mine. She's not here. But I am speaking for both of us, if possible, for the borough to perhaps consider a backflow valve on our properties, which would absolutely kind of guarantee we wouldn't have that problem when that act of God rain comes the next time and these sewers back up, perhaps, for whatever the reason. Whether it be a blockage in the lines, or whether it just be too much rain. The point is, the backflow valve would do the job. It would keep our home from getting flooded.
Is your gutter separated from your?
Absolutely. However, the fellow who lives to my, up above, right next door to me, his are not. It's obvious his are not. The borough has apparently never talked to him about that. And I'm kind of guessing the borough is just grandfathering people in, and if you ever try to sell your house and they're not split, they'll be told that they have to. But in the meantime, people have their gutters going out in there, which adds to the problem.
I also explained to you that if you put a backflow valve in, there's certain ways you can still flood yourself. Number one is, if you have any French drains or anything around your house, the drains into your pipe before the backfill flood, that will fill up and go back into your basement. If you have a leaky terracotta pipe in your yard, after the backflow valve towards the house, that'll fill up and flood you. You cannot use any of your fixtures in your house because that'll flood you.
When the tap.
And I don't know, you know, we've talked about this. I took your letter to the council, and the borough, for whatever reason, the past put a couple in. I just don't think the borough can take on that responsibility because you would just be doing it all over town.
That was 20 minutes ago. She just told me that's not the borough's problem. Now you're correcting his. Nothing against you, buddy. But you guys double talk too much up there. Who are you
We
anyway?
don't own Jimmy's line.
My name's Warren Saccone.
Do we own his line?
What?
No, Jimmy's line is the sewer company.
Right.
We don't own your line. We own his line.
I don't know. I just pay my bill in.
Yeah, but some lines are owned by the authority, and some lines are owned by the borough.
Well, this has to do with the storage department. And
But
I
his
understand.
don't.
No,
We
you
own
we
his
don't own
line.
laterals.
I don't know. You got storage coming in.
We own that line, though. It does have to do with us. We own the line.
How do we own
And in that
The taxpayer owns the tap from the main sewer
Yes.
to the
In the
house.
main soil, some of them, most of them.
In other words, I own
Not the
150
lateral,
feet
the
of storage.
house?
We don't own laterals.
Right.
We don't own that.
Mr.
No, we
Saccone,
never own the laterals. We just own the main line. That's why for sewer maintenance.
Well,
They
that's why he
pay
put it on
$5
the
a month
schedule,
for it.
and he put it on
Somebody's
the
gonna
schedule
maintain
to
that.
maintain the line.
Mr. Saccone, in regard to your concerns about the problems that can occur if one is put in, I'm more than willing to sign any forms this borough or anyone wants to write up that says, should these problems happen, then it's on me, it's my responsibility. I would take responsibility for that. But first, I'd like to see the borough seriously consider doing for me what I know it's done for other residents who have this problem, so that when these rains occurred, just recently here in July, the fellow who had the backflow valve put on his sewer line at the corner of Waddell, where it circles down to First Avenue, zero problem, none whatsoever. He had an enormous problem 7 years ago when the rains came and it flooded everybody. So it didn't happen, so it works. The point is, it works.
Mrs. President?
Yes.
I would like to recommend that we have authorize the solicitor to give this gentleman a response in writing
Okay.
of what our position is on this. And he can get that letter, he can react to that.
Will do.
Okay. We'll get a letter from our solicitor.
You know what, you ain't nothing but a joke. I got 150 foot of line they put in, and there was not one inspector or code enforcement there watching. And I got to put up with it, listen to you up here talking about what's going on.
Mr. Tito, please, you had your time to speak.
You had your time to make this Donora beautiful too, but I ain't seen you doing anything yet.
Gee, so nice.
Motion to adjourn.
That's fine. I mean, a letter, and then we can go from there in terms of.
Yeah, we will send you a letter,
I'd like
as
to get
Mr.
something.
Goding said, and we will try to see what we
We'll
can do.
move them. Thank you.
And where you make the motion to adjourn? I second. Do we have any other motion? We have everything signed? We don't have anything else signed? Okay, can I have a motion to adjourn the meeting?
Motion to adjourn.
Motion by Mr. Parquet, seconded. Motion to adjourn.